Alright, we're back in our car, and for this next video, we're going to be replacing the air filters. There's two air filters we're going to learn how to replace today. The first one is the regular engine air filter, which is important because it keeps dirt out of the engine so the pistons don't lock up and create carbon buildup, which will decrease how long your engine can live. It also gives you an added amount of horsepower each time you change your air filter because all the dust builds up on it, and every time you get a new one, your engine can breathe so much better, and you should be able to feel it in the performance. The other kind of air filter we're going to be changing today is the cabin air filter. This is a device that keeps out pollen and other outside contaminants from entering through the air conditioning. It also can smell really bad if you don't replace it for a long time, and you can have a musky or moldy smell coming through your air conditioning because the only thing separating the outside from you is the cabin air filter. So let's pull this one out and see what it looks like. So the most common place that you can find your cabin air filter is under the glove box in the passenger side. Now there will be a little cover down here. As you can see, these vents. You're going to want to undo these screws down here. This is pretty much the same on all cars. I'm going to find this cover with the screws, and we'll get that done and look at the next step. Down here we're going to find a little air box. It's pretty much going to be the only rectangular box looking thing down here. What you're going to want to do is there's a tab right here, and it will be on whatever side this slides off at, and you always just push on the side that's shorter. So there we go, and off comes our cabin air filter. As you can see, it is full of leaves and dirt because this has never been changed in the life of this car. Therefore, you can imagine how musky the air conditioning smells. Okay, here we have our new clean cabin air filter. It looks brown, but that's just because it has charcoal in it to keep extra contaminants from getting in. Yours is probably going to be shaped like this, and that is because the angle of how the car swerves down. The shorter end always goes to the outside. Sometimes they're a perfect rectangle, and then it doesn't matter how they go in. So let's go ahead and slide this in our air box. Alright, and it's in there. Now we just slide this cover the opposite way, and it's back on there. So you just do all the steps in reverse. Put this mat back on there. I know it's still a little dirty, but we're not going to worry about that. And then you screw it in. Another place that you might find the cabin air filter is in the engine bay, right here on the left side of the window. A lot of times there's an access compartment that is a rectangle just like what we saw under the glove box just now, but instead it's located right here. And there you go. Your air conditioning does not smell musky anymore. Okay, now we're going to be replacing our engine air filter, as seen right there. First of all, locate your air box. It'll probably be attached to the big tube here. This kind of looks like it could be an air box, but it's a battery and it doesn't have a tube on it. So they're almost always held on with Phillips head screws. You're not going to want to use a drill on this because it's going right into brittle plastic. Use a handheld screwdriver and just take your time. It's not worth cracking this box and not getting this open. Okay, now we have all of our screws undone, and you can see our air filter peeking out from underneath. Don't worry about tossing this thing aside, because all those screws permanently stay in there. They're not going to fall out, even if you turn it upside down. So, there we have our air filter. This one isn't too dirty, but there's more that meets the eye. There's a lot of dust in there, as you can can see, compared to the new one, there is a big difference. You're gonna make sure there's not a lot of sand in this right here, or dirt that has gotten in there. If there is, just brush it out. But it's a simple, just tossing the new one in there, making sure the bead is suited, and there you have it. Alright, there's our new one in there. Now we're just going to do everything in reverse. Like I said before, you don't want to use a drill to tighten these screws. Do it by hand. I've had many cars come in where they've had to replace the entire airbox, which is like $200, just because someone used a drill and cracked plastic by drilling these screws in too much. Alright, so we get it screwed in. Alright guys, our car is once again all back together, and our airbox is looking great. That's the end of another video.